Hi, welcome in. Hi, Marty. So good to see you.
How are you? I'll turn my camera off since I look horrible today.
You're fine. Come as you are. You crack me up. Oh my gosh. Let's see. Let me rename myself. I'm in the regional Zoom here. Let more people in, and then we'll get started. And then drop in the chat what Marcus Center you're with. I like to meet new faces. And then if you can, turn on your videos, please. I like to see people. And I'm going to teach you some really cool tips and tricks in Command today. And then allow people to come in. Yeah, so what market center are you from? I want to meet new people. Thank you for joining. Excited that you all are here. Today is April 25th, and we are going to be I'm going to be giving you strategies for tracking conversations and maximizing your conversion. So it's going to be really cool. There's a lot of really cool tools inside Command that you can use to track conversations. And then really give you some tips and tricks so that you can implement every single day as you call your database in Command, which is awesome. Denver Southeast. Awesome. Nice. Welcome. Pueblo. Look at you, Pueblo, in the house. Amazing. Great. I'm going to give people a couple, like maybe one more minute. I know the weather here is super nice outside in Colorado. So I'm sure a lot of people are enjoying the weather as they should. I don't know about you, but I'm over the snow, just over it. I like the rain, let the rain come, but the snow, we can be done with the snow. All right, I'm going to grab my screen. I'm going to dive in and then just show you today's topic is conversion, strategies for tracking conversation and maximizing in Command. And really, this is about touching our database, right? So learning that, those touches are important to proactively communicate to your database. And then, of course, for you as an agent, the name of the game is tracking because it's all about numbers and then paying attention to having those important conversations or making those conversations count is what I like to say. So we're going to dive into Command. I'm going to share my screen. You should be able to see it already. As you can see, I have some fake contacts up. I know YouTube doesn't like me to show anybody else's real information, so we'll see if YouTube allows me to post this recording. So, okay. So I'm going to just start with a really cool tips and tricks to start tracking and really holding yourself accountable in Command. How many here have a tracking system that they go by already to track conversations? Yes or no in the chat. Yes or no in the chat. Do you track your conversations? No. Okay, great. I'm so glad you're here. Anybody else? No, I see no. Okay, Lee's saying no as well. Alrighty then. Your brains are going to be like, what? This is amazing. You're going to get so excited. And then just because I am a MAPS coach, I like to also just sprinkle in some coaching for you so that, you're not walking away with just all the things that you think you're going to do, but then actually don't do them. So I'm going to be your accountability partner and same with Command. How does that sound? Good. All right, so upper right-hand corner of the screen, I'm going to select my name, and then I'm going to head to settings. And this, my friends, is where the magic occurs as around accountability. Left-hand side of the screen, I'm going to select command settings, and then here I'm going to select reporting. Underneath reporting, do you see that? It says activity tracking. Voila. Did you know that you could set up activity tracking to yourself on the daily automatically? Yes, you can in Command. you can absolutely do that. So there's no ignoring it. It's going to come into your email. You get to set it up every single day around what time you should be tracking your numbers. Now, the most important thing here is on the far right-hand side of the screen. Do you see that green circle? That means my activity tracker is on. And then if I were to click it, that means it's turned off. Right now, I'm getting plenty of email reminders every day. In fact, I told myself, go and turn those reminders off because they're getting to the point where I'm like, okay, it's just filling my box. But because I'm a coach and a trainer, I want to teach you the secrets to success to really start tracking. So make sure, first and foremost, this is turned on. You see that green circle. In the center here, you can actually set up a daily reminder for yourself to start tracking your conversations. You could set it up at 8 a.m. Right now, I have it at 8 a.m. So you'll see that AM and the white means it's in the morning. If I were to select and toggle PM, the white box is on the PM. So I've had a couple of people be like, well, which one is which? Which one is on? It's the white box that's on. Okay. And then the activity should be submitted by. So here's another daily reminder. How many conversations have you had and have you been tracking them? This email will allow you to start tracking them. So another accountability reminder is to set that up in the evening or the late afternoon. You get to decide because you have a set schedule, right? For lead gen. Can I hear a yes or a no for a set schedule for lead gen? I should be seeing a resounding yes in the chat, right? So when you want to see your production grow, you have to do the activities that will get you there. Sitting there and thinking that real estate deals are going to come to you out of the blue is not a plan. Okay, I hate to break it to you, but it's just not the plan. The plan is to start tracking your conversations and having purposeful conversations that count, and then counting those purposeful conversations inside the tracker. Okay. Now, I want to see you win. So I want you to walk away from today's training to actually setting this up for yourself, but then not just looking at the email in your inbox, but actually doing the activities. So you can select each day. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, maybe Saturday, right? Maybe Saturday's off. I'm going to unselect that. You can even add days off. So knowing that maybe there are a couple holidays or things, special dates for yourself that you know you will not be tracking conversations, that's also an alternative too. Maybe it's holidays or birthdays that you want to ensure that you don't have that tracker to be on. Now, the really cool thing is the more that you use command and you place data into command, command will also give you data back. So this is called an intuitive CRM. The more information you give it, the more information it'll give you back. So you're probably wondering, well, where does all this information go when I start tracking conversations? I will show you. But before I do, what kind of questions do you have for me? You don't have any. Okay, no worries. It's pretty simple, straightforward, right? Great. So you're just going to move this up or down to select the time frame. And that's essentially how you move your time frame, right? You actually can send up to 2 reminders. I'm gonna bring that down to 1 because it's been too many for me. And then absolutely click the save button because you want to ensure that this deploys for you. Lower right-hand corner, you'll select save. Okay. Now, the next steps are when you receive that email to fill out the form. So let me just go see, because I know that I had my reminder set this morning. And my apologies, I probably should have had this pulled up and ready for you to see it, just to see how it comes in. Because I also get a lot of questions around that. Well, how does it come into my email? And what should I be looking for? So let's see. See if I could find it. And while I do this, go ahead and ask me any questions now. Does this track emails as well? Ooh, great question. Yep. So, I know that the tracker tracks phone calls and conversations. Here it is. Don't forget to log. Okay. So I'm gonna bring this tab back. And this is what it looks like. Don't forget to log your daily activities. I'm gonna select log your daily activities. This is gonna bring me into basically a formatted form already. Now I'm gonna get ahead of it and tell you that you cannot reformat this form that comes in. So what is a day that you want to submit activity? Today's the 25th. How was your day? Good or bad? I'm going to say good. And how much time did you spend finding new clients today? So I'm going to put 3. And then how many did you talk to? Let's say I put 10. What did you do to find them? I made some calls. I did some marketing. I did some social media and text messaging. Emails. No emails are in here. Okay. Now, I would assume the reason why emails are not in here is because it's not typically a two-way conversation. This is where we start really honing in on engagement and getting somebody to have a conversation back with us, right? So I'm picking up the phone to have a two-way conversation. That's exactly what I'm going to be tracking. I'm texting somebody to have a two-way conversation. That is what I'm going to be tracking. Social media could also be a two-way conversation just because you're going to be in front of people. You're going to be possibly doing the 5 likes, 5 comments, 5 happy birthday messages. And perhaps because you were doing those activities, you're getting feedback back. You're having two-way conversations, and then you're going to plug in real estate, right? Now, is everyone you spoke with captured in the database? Yes or no? I'll say no. And then how many appointments did you set today, buyers or sellers? So again, we're tracking conversations, the lead sources or activities that we're up to, and then how many appointments did we set out of today's activities? I'm going to say 1 buyer, 1 seller, because I'm, just a pro. And then how many appointments did you attend today? I'll say 1. Maybe my seller's appointment's not until next week. How many new agreements did you get signed today? I'll say 0. And then how many contracts did you write today? I'll say 0. How many closings did you have? 0. And I'll say submit. So D, what's your first name? Do you go by D? You can unmute yourself. This form that I found is what we just set up. So let me be really clear here. This is your first step to set up, Debbie. Thanks, Debbie. So Debbie, your first step is to set it up back here, like I showed you. And then your next step is to pay attention to your email, because it's going to send it to your email. And this is what the email looks like. Don't forget to log your daily activities. Another email will say, how was your day? And then you'll click here, Debbie, see where it says log your daily activities. You'll click there. That will bring you to the activity tracker that I just filled out. And then it says, want to see your GCI based on your today's activities, and then you can calculate, which is really cool. So let's pretend I did set that appointment and I kept it, and I knew exactly how much their budget was. Average unit price, let's just say 800. Well, let's also do the average, price here would probably be 500 to 600, depending on what location and city you're in Colorado. We'll do 2.8. And then optional split, we'll just say calculate. So then this would be my GCI. Okay. So that's pretty cool, right? So when we go back into command, I find that when you start tracking the conversations that matter and count in your daily activity tracker, command will also put all of this information in the reporting section. So I'm going to select reports. And this reporting section will give you also email reports as well. So I forget who asked about the email conversation. Emails that are being sent out, just so you know, live here. I'm not going to show you this quite yet because I want to show you where the activity tracker lives, and that's underneath activity. So you'll see that it tracked today's activity, 3 hours spent, 10 conversations, 3 appointments. I had a good day, right? And so this is all the information that you'll need to see, okay, where is my conversion rate really? How is it going, right? Like how many contracts and agreements have I had and how many closings? So this is where we become really purposeful with our day-to-day activities and tracking. I could even click on lead generation activities to see, okay, what did I do on April 25th that really gave me the results I wanted? Was it the phone calls? Was it the marketing, the social media, the text messaging? See, when we start counting conversations that matter, we also need to start counting conversations on where we had them and what avenue did we take to have that conversation. Because what we want to do is repeat the things that work, because why not, right? If you're doing open houses and you're capturing leads at open houses, then you should be repeating those activities to get more leads. Cool. So lead gen strategies and lead gen conversations it's really about authenticity. What do you find joy in? And then also, can I just call a spade a spade? It's a necessary evil for you and your business. Whether you like to hear it or not, lead generation is super important. Now, how you go about it is up to you. You can either go and go do some events, you can do some phone calls, you can do some text messaging, you can do social media, right? How are you going to get engaged to have important conversations or start having conversations that count? Now, the touch systems in Command are phenomenal. So really lean in on the technologies that can also help you be proactive in your communication. And I'm going to go through just a simple walkthrough of smart plans, because smart plans are really where the magic happens in Command. And it also could be something where you could set yourself up in the this in the background, so that in the foreground you're having conversations that count. In the background, you have your touches going on your people, right? Like the monthly neighborhood nurture. Those are like some really awesome passive touches that you should be looking into. And in fact, going back into even the biweekly neighborhood nurture, because it sends those weekly emails that give what's happening in your neighborhood, right? Like who's sold their house in your neighborhood, what kind of homes are coming soon in your neighborhood. Buyers and sellers are always curious, and so are your neighbors, right? Like I know right now that my neighbor across the street is listing in August, and I just cannot wait to see what she lists her home for. So the biweekly neighborhood nurture is great for somebody like me, even though I'm not thinking about moving in the near future. I want to know, because at some point I do want to move. This is not my forever home. So we have to really start thinking like the consumer would. What kind of information would they want on a biweekly or monthly basis? And really they want on-demand data. So the on-demand data lives in the biweekly neighborhood nurture, as well as a monthly neighborhood nurture, because that just drips them. Here's an update of your neighborhood. Here's what's happening. Here's what's coming up. Here's who's about to sell their house, right? Great information. And the reason why I point this out to you is because there's some really cool tips that I'm about to show you inside Command that will give you another clue or more clues on who is active in your database. Because this all goes back to your lead gen plan and conversion plan and your conversation plan. Cool. So before I dive into that next topic, what kind of questions do you guys have about smart plans? How do you set up those monthly neighborhood nurtures? Debbie asks. Great question. Anybody else have any questions before I answer Debbie's? Okay. I'm going to show you on the far left of my screen. Well, first, before I do that, let me back up. My apologies. So Debbie, the first thing that I want to encourage you to do is really, if you're new to smart plans, the 10 Keller Williams smart plans are the foundational smart plans that you should always place on at least one person. There are 10 of them. And of course, ensuring that they match the person of who they are. So if you have a long-term nurture, or if that person matches an open house follow-up, right? That should be around 33 touches. And that will generate around 88,000 in GCI. See, the recipe, it's a real recipe that Keller Williams figured out, that around 33, 36 at minimum touches on 201 contacts will gain you 88,000 in GCI, because you're touching your database and you're most likely going to get a past client or referral from that strategy. So if you're brand new to smart plans, the biggest thing is to click on add smart plan and then download it. When you see grayed out here, that's because it's already downloaded to my personal library. All right. And then my smart plans is where all my smart plans live. You'll see I have about 188 smart plans in my own personal library, because I've either created them or I've downloaded them. And then the most important thing is to always ensure that you edit every smart plan you download, so that just in case it's somebody else's, you want your information, not theirs in it. Okay. But the monthly neighborhood nurture, you cannot edit because it's a canned smart plan. It's generating information from your website, and then it's bringing that person's specifics on their neighborhood. So once I've downloaded the monthly neighborhood nurture, I'm going to go to a contact, in this case, Batman. And then from there, what needs to occur are a couple things. One, they either need to have a primary location in their contact record or a primary address. Okay. And let's pretend, because I know there are a lot of people that could be in your database that you don't have their primary address, but you do know perhaps their location. All you'll have to do is select the edit button inside the contact record. And then from here, you'll select add more information, additional contact information, and then you'll simply type in a location. You don't need a primary address. So for this example, I'm just going to type in Littleton. And I'll just pull up Littleton. Let's say Littleton Main Street looks good, and I'll select save. Once I do that, you'll see on the left-hand side, it says downtown Littleton. Now I have made downtown Littleton their primary location. So then the next step will be to add the monthly neighborhood nurture. So I'll head to smart plans. You'll see that my biweekly neighborhood nurture is already on Batman. All I need to do now is select the plus button. Let's pretend I don't have a biweekly neighborhood nurture. Excuse me. I'll add to smart plan here. And then I'll simply type in monthly. And then the monthly neighborhood nurture will appear. Now, you must follow those steps. Download the smart plan first, edit the smart plan second if it needs to be edited. Then you're gonna go place a primary location on your contacts if they don't have one. Fine print, they must have an email in order for this to deploy. And then the last step here is then place the smart plan and select it. You can even start now or on a specific date. And then make sure you select this checkbox that you've read the TCPA disclaimer, and then you'll select confirm. And that's it. Okay, that's how you place a monthly neighborhood nurture on somebody. Now, getting back to the focus on today's training, the smart plans are great because, again, you can find and search for topics, types of lead, smart plans to convert. So maybe you're doing Facebook ads, you could literally type in Facebook, and you'll see a ton of Facebook follow-up plans or touch systems, okay? Now, because we're focusing on conversion and conversations, what I'd like to show you are a couple things in this whole game of really being a business owner and also paying attention to your database. I'm going to head to this cute little house button this is going to bring me back to my dashboard, my command dashboard. And from here, the command dashboard has been updated. Okay, the update that I really want you to pay attention to is my activity, because check this out. You could see how many hours spent, conversations. It gives you a view, a zoomed out view of your lead gen. Okay, do you see that in my activity? Now, you may be looking at your screen and thinking, where is my activity? It's not located in the same area. That's because I myself have customized my dashboard the way I want to. So I'm going to teach you how to do that. And I also am going to point out the most active contacts as well. So first, let's discuss how to customize how your dashboard should look the way you want it to look. Right-hand corner of the screen, I'm going to select customize. And then I can arrange or rearrange all the things that I want to see or don't want to see. So maybe I don't want to see product updates. Maybe I don't want to see sponsored events. And then I get to drag and drop all the things that are important to the top, like activity tracking. I want to see my most active contacts. And then I'll just keep my recent leads there. And then I'll select apply. So you'll see that my sponsorship stuff from my market center went away. And then my tasks are the number one thing here that's important. My activity is on the right. And then of course, my most active contacts down below. Now, because you're tracking your conversations, right? You're tracking your conversations, you're doing your lead gen, you're focusing on those activities. You have all these amazing smart plans on your entire database, 201 people, okay? 201. That will get you the business you deserve, okay? Do it, I promise. I'm not here to preach. I promise you, I'm here to coach and train to get you to win. Now, most active, where is this coming from? Guess where it's coming from? It's coming from your activity tracker and smart plans. Really, your smart plans, not your activity tracker. So I misspoke there. Your smart plans, and also part of tracking your conversations inside each contact. Okay. So your activity tracker is for you to track your conversations. However, please start tracking your conversations inside each contact, because what will happen is as you start sending smart plans out and dripping them, and you're making notes and your contacts are responding to you, Command is taking all these data points in the last 7 days and will give you a hot list of who is the most active in your database right now. So for those of you who don't know about this most active widget on your dashboard and you have not been paying attention to, and you do have smart plans on people, go look at it right now, because you might just have a hot list to call. Because these people in your database are now probably looking at your neighborhood nurture, they're clicking on homes and wondering when they're going to move next. They're probably curious about their neighborhood, right? All of those things are being collected in the back end. And then boom, every week, you're going to get a new list. How exciting is that? Now you have a warmer conversation. You pick up the phone and you make that call. It's that easy. The hardest part is just doing it. I talk and train and coach to many agents, and most agents, you know what they don't do? They just don't do it. And then their production suffers. You have to do the activities in order to see the results, and they must be consistent. So really lean in on those that activity tracker to do the daily consistent activities, to have a plan in place, and to focus on the goals for the end of the year. Cool? You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. What are you committed to? Right? Lead gen is a necessary evil. You just have to do it. Okay, so I'm going to stop preaching and I'm going to stop asking you what kind of questions do you have for me?
Hi, Leslie. This is Debbie.
Hi, Debbie.
Hi. I didn't know I could unmute. I thought it was a permanent mute. So I am a new agent, but so how, and I do have leads. I don't have 201 just yet, but I'll get there.
Yeah.
How often should I be contacting like my sphere of influence?
How many deals do you want to do this year?
What month are we in? May?
We'll call it May. Yeah.
So one a month, so 7.
You want to do 7?
Mhm.
Okay, let me get my calculator. All right. 7 deals a year with average commission is, I think I did my commission wrong earlier today too. I should have put point. Yeah. Average commission is what? 5,000? 10,000
Sounds
here in
good to me.
Colorado? What's that?
I said, sounds good to me.
All right. Hold on. Let me do some math. Yeah. So like, if we were to say an average sales price of 500,000, you're going to get around 12,500 if you were to fully cap, right? Your take home would be that. Of course, you have to give out royalties and commissions to the market center, so it could be less than that. So let's just call it 10,000, okay? So 10,000 is your average sales point. So then so that's going to be 70,000 in GCI, right? And then how big is your database?
Let me just check really quick. 65 right now.
Okay. So growing your database would be huge, Debbie, and that would be through Facebook. I have a feeling you have more than 65 people in your
Yeah, I do.
life. Yeah. So what I would do is go to Facebook, and how many Facebook friends do you have?
Like 800. I think.
So go through your
Close to
Facebook.
that.
Yeah. So I would start adding people into command from your Facebook friends and get to 201. If you have 800 friends, you can definitely get there. Yep. So
Okay.
knowing that around, we'll call it 100 conversations to 1 conversion. So then you would have to have 100 conversations a month. Now, we're in a shifted market. So that means that there's buyer reluctancy and seller reluctancy. It's a little bit different. Interest rates are high. So, you have to be fully committed to the goal and to start tracking those conversations, right? So, I mean, I would even increase that to, because if you have 100 conversations a month, let's just call it 30 days, right? So that's 3 conversations a day. I feel like you could do more than that. I would increase that to,
Yeah.
I would increase that to 10 conversations a day. Just because you want to make up for the shifted market. And just like the shift book tells us, knowing that there's more people that are reluctant, you have to shift your lead gen into high gear.
Okay.
Yeah. And so there's different types of lead gen recipes out there that you can start really asking yourself, what kind of lead gen should I be doing? Database first, always. That's where your easier conversations will be. I like to offer, if you're looking to grow your database, then social media is great because you could start really putting yourself out there on digitally, branding yourself. And digitally branding yourself is a commitment to at least posting once a day. The 5-5-5, I like to do 5 engagements, 5 likes, and then 5 happy birthday messages. Out of those 800 people, you definitely have an opportunity to give somebody a happy birthday message via messenger, but like, don't make it canned and be real specific and be authentic so that you can have an engaging conversation, right? And then The other thing that I was going to offer is like mini events. So a lot of my clients that I train and coach are focusing on having hyper local mini events that they can get in front of people and also just invite their sphere of influence to get referrals. And mini events could be like not big events. We call them mini because they're real focused on a small group, but that group of people are super impactful. So for instance, I had somebody in my a client of mine that does many events, and she'll invite a lot of her girlfriends to a happy hour, or she did a Valentine's Day event and she offered they offered a free latte at the coffee shop because she did a business to business partnership. A mini event can be things of that nature, and they don't have to be so thought out and marketed around, but something easy and free, and or partner with another B2B to make it a win-win.
Okay.
The golden letter is a huge one for a lot of my clients. So golden letters are tried and true. And focusing in on golden letter entry every week. So like I have some clients that do 50 golden letters a week and they get leads all the time.
I'm sorry, I don't know what that is.
The golden letter is basically like, hi, I have somebody that's interested in purchasing your house. Are you willing to sell?
Oh, okay.
They teach you that in bold. So Debbie, if you're interested in going to bold, I highly recommend going to bold because it gives you the foundational ways to lead gen, and then it gets you out of your mindset. So whatever's holding you back from making calls and all those things. But there's a ton of golden letter templates inside Command, inside Smart Plans, which is amazing. So you just go into Smart Plans and type in golden letter. The other thing that I have clients doing circle prospecting. So circle prospecting lists, expired FSBOs, get brushed up on your objection handlers, find somebody in your office to hold you accountable, or have conversation practice, which we are getting away from scripts. Like script practice, a lot of people used to call it, but really conversations matter. So find somebody that's willing to meet you once a week to practice your conversations, and then use that activity tracker to start submitting those conversations in Command.
And you said bold would be something good for me to go through?
Yes.
Bold. Okay.
Yep. And I don't remember when our next bold here is in Colorado, but definitely ask your market center leadership and they should have some dates for you.
Okay.
All right, I'll stop talking. Anybody else have any questions? How was it? Are you feeling inspired to get yourself out there? Yeah. Because look, without a plan in place, you're going to have zero results. With a plan in place and consistent activities, you will see the results. Cool. And Ignite too. Yes, absolutely. Ignite is great for that as well. All right, you all. Well, I hope and pray that you go do the activities today. As soon as you get off the call, go set up your activity tracker, start making your phone calls, pay attention to the most active, and also pay attention to your activity tracker on your dashboard. The last thing I forgot to show you that I think is really important, one last little tidbit in Command. If you go to your contacts, place this in your calendar to remind yourself, go look to see who was recently active. So the recently active column here will tell you who was the most active on your website in communication and your mobile app. There's my AI thumb popping up. Thanks everyone. I'm so glad you enjoyed it. This is and it was being recorded. I will push it back to the YouTube channel on the Colorado Regional YouTube channel. Hopefully YouTube will allow me to post it because I really don't have much real information in there. Other than that, make it a great day and have a great week. We'll talk soon.
Thank you.
Thanks everyone. Bye.